Morning, sisters. Again, it's my joy to be here in this recollection. The first time I was asked to give this recollection and given the topic, I was a bit confused, honestly, because the topic that was given to me is the Jubilee logo. So I was thinking, what is in the logo that needs to be expounded and its reflection is something that is something given and nandiyan yung logo. So is there anything that we can deepen in reflecting in our logo? And looking at the past experience and also the knowledge, the wisdom of the church, let's us try to deepen and see what is in there in the logo or in the symbolism and signs. I believe the PDDM is more professional and experts when it comes to signs and symbols, right? Just like when you're doing your architecture, your design, you are more experts in making those logos, symbols, and signs than us at SSP. But let's look on what we can do. Last 2 years ago, I was teaching multimedia storytelling sa aming seminary, sa St. Paul Seminary. It is multimedia and also storytelling. So in short, it is a high-tech chismisan because it's multimedia. Now you use multimedia to tell your story. And in the same time, it is also speaks of the way we communicate, the way we do our apostleship through the images raised to the modern technology. And one of the topic in there is brand storytelling. Brand storytelling. It speaks of the use of brand, the story of your logo, the story of your material. So the logo is not only a picture, but a logo actually tells a story, tells of what is your brand about. Ano nga ba, tungkol sa nga ba yung iyong brand. It doesn't only represent your product, but the values of your product. Just like your PDTM logo. Ano ba yung nire-represent ng inyong PDTM logo? What does it tell about yourself? And what story does it tell? Because the logo should tell the story, your own story, and also the values that the product represents. And so, I was looking at the logo, and I realized there are only actually 8 elements in here. So this is supposed to be a short talk. Pero mahabain na lang para to use the time. Let's have a game first. Let's have a little icebreaker, a little game. So I'll be showing you a logo and tell me what is the brand. Tell me what is the brand. Is it okay, first? So don't worry, it is a logo that I collected across ages. So the young ones and the old ones can relate. We'll have a chance. So first, this one is quite popular. What logo is this one?
Amazon.
Amazon. So kilala ko sila yung mga nagawa ng Shopee overseas. So this is Amazon. If you're going to look at it, there's actually a meaning to it. It's going across the globe. That smiley is not only about the direction. It is a symbol of going across the globe. Next, so it's actually Amazon. Second, this one.
TikTok.
TikTok. I'm surprised. Even sisters from the advanced age knows what TikTok is. So see, even this doesn't really only restricts us to the young generations. Even the old ones know what TikTok is. So it is a way that the young ones now communicate and they create content. So it's for content creation. So they also, I think they also gaining also gaining some monetization, and also doing brands through TikTok. Meron na bang TikTok ang PDDM? TikTok shop. I believe you already, the St. Paul's already have the TikTok shop. So it's one thing that you can also explore. And sabi nga, diba, go where the people are, go where your markets are. So we go there in order to explore, in order to do also evangelization. Because this priest, TikTok priest from Pampanga, so he's doing TikToks once in a while to go and to evangelize where the people are, especially the younger generations. So this is TikTok. This one, of course, the old ones knows this one. What? Motorola, of course. This is an old brand of cell phone. Of course, our sisters here knows what it is. Actually, this is the Imagine logo. They also do the Imagine logo. This one, of course.
Volkswagen.
It's Volkswagen. So you see the symbol using their. This one, of course.
Pepsi.
Sure? It's Pepsi, actually. So, this one. Instagram. So you see, it's also an app where people post photos. Now they also venturing on reels. So it's one we also evangelize, and you put our product, we put our content there, so people can see our the message that we want to give to people. This one, of course.
Saint Lawrence.
Wow. So dapat na tama yung pronunciation.
Ano?
So it's an Yves Saint Laurent.
Saint Laurent.
Yves
Saint Laurent. French.
So it's a French. Yeah, it's a French. This one, of course, YouTube. I believe you used to have a YouTube channel, right? You used to have a YouTube channel. Of course, you know this one. This is Olympic. You know, the circle represents nations, represents people, and being interlinked is being united. It's symbolism of what Olympic is. It means sportsmanship. It means the value that they promote. It means camaraderie. It means being united. This one, last one. Panda. Panda Express. Food Panda. This one is
Australian. Panda.
I know you're familiar with this one. So this represents the World Wildlife Fund. It is the organization that promotes and helps in the preservation, especially of the wildlife. So they're building up, especially it represents the panda. So yung panda, yung sa wildlife. Now we go to a more serious signs and symbols. What is signs and symbols? Ano ba yun?
Signs and then symbols, the meaning.
May meaning. It conveys meaning. Of course. What else? The signs and symbols.
Symbols represent person.
Sir?
It represents also person.
Person. It represents person. Yes. And what is the difference between signs and symbols? May pinagkaiba ba sila? Or are they synonymous?
Yeah.
Sino may sabi synonymous? Sino may sabi magkaiba? Sino walang opinion? Actually, signs and symbols are two different things. Signs, let's go to this meaning. Signs typically have clear and direct meanings, often provide instructions or warnings. It is so more direct, like traffic signs. Diba? You say stop, stop. It provides us direction. Kung saan tayo pupunta. We go to the left, we go to the right, we go detour, we go somewhere else. It's provided with the signs. It guides us with our direction. So it points towards what direction we should go, and also gives us warnings. So meron siyang warning. it represents a message. A sign tells us of a message, especially of direction. So, saan tayo pupunta? Saan tayo tutungo? And what are we going to do? So, it involves actions and also response from us. So, kapag may sign, of course, we have to do something. Because if you avoid signs,
Police.
madilis ka, mapupulis na kayo, mahuli ng LTO. Or we might fall into something, or we might get an accident. If we are ignoring signs, especially our blessed founder tells us to be aware of the signs of times. So we should be aware of the signs of times. Because if we're going to ignore the signs of times, baka mawala tayo. Baka maging irrelevant tayo, baka maligaw tayo ng landas. So we have to be aware and interpret the signs of times. That's how important science is. So we have to be aware and recognize signs. And seeing the signs, we have to respond. It impels us to do action, to respond to what signs are leading us, to respond to where the signs is pointing towards, saan nga ba, to what direction we are going through. At sabi nga katulad sa amin ngayon, narinig niyo na ba yung bagong chismis? Ay, bagong science. Narinig niyo na ba?
Hindi pa.
Now we are St. Paul, Philippine Australia province. So it's a new sign. So, ay ko ba ako ba nag-spoil? No, spoiler. I think it's already in the social media. So it's a new sign. We have suppressed the Macau, and now we're venturing to a new direction. Hindi na pa gano'n, pababa na, downwards. So Australia it is. So it's a new sign for us. So we have to interpret with the signs and respond to it. So it's just one of the signs that we have to respond and interpret and put into action para maging relevant daw kami. So, science. Now, what is, so ito yung mga example of science. And science are actually universal. Is the red sign also in other culture means stop? How about in other country? Sister, what country are you from?
China.
China. Is red means stop also in China?
Yes, stop.
Sister, from where? You're from?
Tonga.
Tonga. Is there a red sign meaning stop also in Tonga? It's something universal. Everyone understands the sign. So it must be a kind of common language across nations, across culture that everyone recognizes. And so that is the importance of the sign. No matter what color or race we are, it is a universal language that points us and helps us to that direction. Perhaps we can bank on this, on the signs, to communicate our message, to speak to the truth that we are encouraged to do, that everyone recognizes the signs. Second, ano nga ba yung symbol? What is the difference between signs and symbols? So, sign is more direct and points us to the direction, while symbols represents more abstract ideas, concepts, require certain understanding to interpret, and even it can represent a person, a congregation, a kind of people. Just like the symbol of heart. Bakit nga ba ganyan yung symbol of heart? Where in fact, it's not the shape of the heart, di ba? So it's a symbolism that represents something deeper. It points us to the reality. It is not the reality, but it points us to the reality, the symbolism of it. So when we see these signs, we know what it represents and what it symbolizes and points us to the reality. The heart is not the heart, but it points us to the reality of the heart. And so these symbols represents deeper meaning. It is more profound it actually can also be abstract things like love, like peace, like the environment, like something that is intangible, yung mga hindi nakakawakan, yung mga bagay na mahirap i-explain, we can put it into symbolism. Even in our hearts, di ba? Meron tayong mga bagay na hindi masabi, that we have to put it into picture, that we have to put it into a symbolism that can speak of what is abstract. It is a concretization of what is abstract. So, sa pamamagitan nun, nagkakaroon ng imahe yung hindi masabi-sabi, yung hindi maipaliwanag. It is something that concretizes our experience even. We put symbol to speak of our experience. And they can be used for communication, understanding, navigation, branding, and cultural. So, pati yung cultural significance. So, it can be used to symbolize something. Like here in this example, the lotus flower. It symbolizes, in Buddhism, it symbolizes strength, resilience, rebirth. Of course, the cross. The cross symbolizes
Salvation.
salvation, sacrifice, faith. Christianity in that symbol of the cross. It is not like Christianity, but it points us to a deeper and bigger reality. So your cross symbolizes the whole Christian people. The Christianity, what it represents is salvation. The thing, other things represents their faith. The other represents their values, represents who the person is. So even the cross can represent Christ. So it represents and points us, leads us to the deeper reality. So through symbolism, we can experience and be led to that deeper reality, a profound reality that it symbolizes. Just like in our culture, merong yin and yang. For us Christians, for some, it is not familiar what does it mean, but in other cultures, it is a profound meaning of balance, of harmony, of duality, of good and evil. So even the tree of life, it means something. It means hope, it means life for them. So the symbols, the signs points us towards direction, while symbols leads us to a deeper reality. It represents a deeper reality. And now we go to what is you are most familiar, the liturgical symbols. Just like in our tabernacle, there are 3 symbols in there, right? So the wheat, the vine, and the heel. It represents, everything represents Christ, the bread, and the wine. But looking at it, you see, they understand it, that it's not about the symbol, but it represents something. It is Christ, the bread, and the wine, the body and blood of Christ. So that conveys the whole meaning of it. So hindi lang siya basta symbol, pero naintindihan natin, we understand what it represents and leads us to that reality that indeed it's not only bread and wine, but it's also the body and blood of Christ, the humanity and divinity of Christ, and Christ's sacrifice. So just by looking at the symbol, we are now being led to better things, to deeper things, profound things that we can draw from symbolism. It's like the symbol of chalice, the symbol of the fish, the ictus. So it represents Jesus also, the fish. So it leads us to deeper meanings and truths. And so, just like in the old churches, they use meanings in order to catechize people. So, to speak of the truth, they use the symbols in order to speak of what they want to convey, yung kanilang message. They use symbols to catechize people. That's how important symbolisms are. Just like in the vestments that you make. Just like in the heraldry, last time the topic of the Catechism is the heraldry of Pope Leo the 14th. What is his motto And what are the elements there that will symbolize his papacy? So from looking at the image, the heraldry, we know ano yung kanyang spirituality. We know ano yung kanyang ipopromote, ano yung kanyang ipuput forward, what is his agenda, and what we can expect from him. So, ano ba yung model dito si Bishop Roberto? Ano yung model? Sa amin, Bishop namin is Aujam. Si Cardinal Advin Cola sa Aujam and speaks of what his agenda, what will be his spirituality, what kind of leader will he be. Just looking at those symbolism and heraldry. And of course, now we go to logo. Why logo? Because it's full of symbolism. It speaks of the brand, it speaks of the story, it speaks of the narrative of what it represents. Hindi lang siya about the product, but the story of the product and the values it represents. So a logo is a visual with the typography elements that help us to identify and recognize it. So that's the importance of logo. It's like the video. Can someone tell me the story of this logo? What does it represents? Yung daughters, nag-rebrand sila ng logo, right? So yung kanilang logo. So, is this a bread or?
Bread.
A bread.
And then Christus.
Christus.
Then
Yeah,
the
the
colors of
center.
the continents.
The,
The colors represent
the colors represent
continents.
the continents.
Yeah.
So it's also bread and a word. Tama ba? O pala nag-aaral ito? O pala nag-interpret ito? So why bread? Why bread?
Eucharist.
Jesus, Eucharist. Of course. Why not other? So the logo speaks of our identity. It speaks of our mission. It speaks of who we are, right?
The
So,
green is
mahal,
who?
colorful ang inyong buhay.
The green is who?
The green is who? The red, bakit nasa yung red? Maduduba ang inyong buhay. It's the bloody sacrifice that you have to do. And the radiance, of course, are like. So, it represents who we are, our story, and what you stand for. Kung ano yung values, kung ano yung mga pinuput forward ng PDD, speaks of your identity and the narrative of your story, the narrative of your brand, of your values. Kung ano nga ba yung ibinibigay at isinasabuhay ng PDDM. So it must be represented in your logo. Now, we go to our main topic. So, so now we go to the logo of the Jubilee of Hope. So these are the different logos from different languages. So merong Italian, may Spanish, may Portuguese, I guess. Balik natin sa Spam. Pilgrims of Hope, English, and Korea.
No German.
No German? Perhaps they are not hopeful with Germans. That's why no. So, what can you see, in the Prima Facie? So, looking at the logo, what strikes you the most? What strikes you the most in the logo?
The cross, the anchor.
The cross, the anchor. So, what does it
To
speak
be
to you?
anchored in Christ through
Anchored in Christ.
through baptism.
Through baptism.
Water. May water.
Yeah, there's water.
There's water. What strikes you the most in the logo?
And those persons, who are those persons?
Who are those persons? So it evokes curiosity. It evokes you to look at Christ. Wala siya dyan. Wala
the
siya ng
church.
Christ, diba? So,
That's the church.
that's the church.
Hmm.
So now let's look at the elements. Himay-himayin natin yung logo. They said there are 8 parts of this logo. So first, the 4 stylized figures. So yung question is, Sister, ano yung mga tao na yun? Diba? Mukha silang Pringles na kalahati. So this represents, the colors represents the four corners of the world. We say that the world represents the whole of humanity. And no matter what color we are all together in this pilgrimage, in this journey. So you see, one holding one another. So magkakakabit sila. Everyone is connected to one another, and everyone supports one another. So it's a symbolism of connection and also support. When you hold someone's back, di ba, parang it's kind of assurance. I am with you, and do not be worried, I'm at your back. So it's kind of assurance when you hold someone's back. And also, you get connected. Are you familiar with that kind of game? Yung parang centipede, yung love to be attached to one another. Pag nagbitaw kayo, so matatalo kayo. So it's something that represents the whole of humanity, the four colors, the four corners of the world, and it symbolizes solidarity and fraternity. So it's two things: what you give and what you gain. You receive this fraternity, yung pagkakaisa, you give support, and you also receive support from one another. So this is the four, these figures represents, it means universality, it means solidarity, and fraternity. So yun na sa mga Pringles na natin. And later on, we will realize there is deeper meaning, why is this so? So bakit ganyan yung kanilang itsura? Later on, babalikan ko to, and we will see, bakit nga ba ganyan sila? Second is the figure in the front holding onto the cross. So yes, it is a brotherhood, it's a common brotherhood. But someone must lead us to Christ. Someone must lead us closer to Christ. And that is what the first figure represents, the red one. Because he's the one who is anchoring. Someone must be leading. Someone must guide us towards Christ. And the question is, sino ba yun? Baka tayo yung tinatawagan. Perhaps it is a challenge for us to also lead Christ as the first person who is also connecting others, being the link, being a kind of pontifex, a bridge towards the people and God, towards their hope, towards their journey. So someone must lead and someone must bring closer to serve us the link between the people. Perhaps it is also the challenge for us to be the person, to be the one drawing people closer to the cross, to Christ. Because if there's no one who will lead us, baka kung saan tayo mapunta. So there must be someone who must lead us and draw us closer in moments of special distress and great. We need that simple person of hope. So that is the second part of this logo. Third is the rough waves. So we remember in the Gospel and also in the Bible, the sea is a symbolism of church.
The world.
The sea is the symbolism of turmoil,
Yes.
challenges. And in the Hebrew, the sea is the realm of the devil, the underworld. They believe that the Sheol is at the bottom of the sea and the Leviathan is residing in the sea. And the rough wave represents the challenges of life. And the church recognizes that life's journey is not always smooth. Maraming pagsubok sa buhay. We're all constantly challenged in this world. And they say if you're not challenged, it means only two things. It means we are not fighting, or second, we are already dead. Sa pag di tayo nakakaranas sa problema, Meaning the long meaning of that, we are not resisting or fighting, or we are already dead. That's why we did not experience challenges in life. So this represents the challenges that the church, the society, and even Christian members experiences in their life. The church doesn't really dwell on the idealism na dapat ganito, dapat ganito. The church recognizes the reality of human life, the daily events, the daily struggles that's being represented by the rough waves. And so, these waves represents the kind of journey that we are undertaking. That's why the first figure now makes sense. Regard the first figure, the first highlights, now we realize they are not only human, they are saints. Yung layag. Because we are in a journey, just like in a boat, di ba? Meron siyang layag. So the layag is the one that mobilizes the boat. Kung hindi mo ibababa yung layag, the sails, the boat won't move forward or won't move in any direction. It also dictates what direction the boat will go to. So now it makes sense. Through the rough waves, we have to be together in solidarity so that we can go through any challenges in life. Now it makes sense all the more kung bakit ganun yung kanyang figure. We have to be united in solidarity so that we can overcome the challenges of this world. And so that is the third element of the logo. Now, of course, the anchor. Because of the challenges in life, sometimes we feel lost, sometimes we feel challenged. That's why we need an anchor. It is the extension of the cross that was made into anchor. And of course, we know in symbolism, anchor means hope. It means stability. It means being grounded. So when the ship let's go off his anchor, ibig sabihin, meron siyang solid grounding. Hindi siya mapupunta kung saan. The ship would go adrift, won't go away, and will be swayed by the waves. So the anchor is needed for the ship to be stable and to anchor into something who is Christ Himself. So yung anchor, kung wala siyang inaangklahan, it is useless. So it is something to anchor, and it must be anchored, that hope must be anchored to something firm, to something constant, to something na hindi agad-agad mawawala. And that is Christ. That's anchored, symbolism of hope, is useless. It is anchored to something. Kung hindi siya nakalaylay, kung hindi siya nakaground, kung yung anchor mo nakababa lang, so hindi siya, useless siya, madadala pa rin yung bangka. It must be anchored into something, and that is Christ. We must anchor ourselves, our hopes, to Christ, who is our constant, our stronghold, the person whom will not disappoint us. So that's why kaya ganun yung kanyang symbolism of cross and the anchor. Kasi kung anchor lang, baka kung saan pa rin tayo madala. That must be anchored to Christ. So the symbolism of the anchor and the cross. Fifth is the cross. Have you ever asked, bakit ganun yung cross? Bakit parang hindi matibay? Parang nakabend, di ba? Parang medyo, di ba? Because it says it must be resilient, and also it is a cross that is bent towards humanity. It is God reaching out to humanity. It is God making that initiative to reach out to protect the humanity. Kaya daw ganun yung kanyang symbolism. Kaya daw siya nakabend Just like in the image of the creation by Michelangelo, right? Yung God the Father was pointing and reaching out to the humanity. Pero si Adam, nakabend yung kanyang finger. Kaya sabi, just needs a flick of the finger to connect to God. But man is so stubborn or even lazy to do that. Even God is reaching out to us. Even God is looking for us, bending towards humanity. Pero minsan tayo yung napaka-stubborn. Just flick of the finger, hindi pa natin magawa to reach and to meet God, to encounter God in our home. But we are not hopeless because we have a God who is constantly bending towards humanity, reaching out to each one of us. And so we are grateful in this symbolism that it gives us hope of a God who will never give up on us. A God who's ever been since the time of creation, since the time of Moses, Abraham, who's bent towards humanity seeking us, and a God who will never give up on us. So that's a symbolism of the cross. Lastly, of course, the theme, pilgrims of hope. We are all pilgrims. We are all journeying, and together we journey together as a people. We journey together in these rough waves, in the challenges, in the joys of our Christian life. We are all called to become pilgrims, messengers of hope. And as pilgrims, it means we move. Hindi dahil yung pilgrims, hindi sila yung naka-isa-isang lugar. It entails movement. It entails going out of the comfort zone. It entails going through the road. Hindi lang siya in the comfort of his own confinement. But a pilgrim goes out and seeks something, even uncertainty. But it seeks something, it must have a destination, a pilgrim that seeks out to Christ, that seeks out even to the furthest, remotest, and even those people who are far away from God. This we are called to become pilgrims of hope. But we are not only pilgrims, we have to be pilgrims of hope, ever joyful, ever hopeful, and never giving up. But also, as pilgrims, we go along our journey. In our journey, we are not alone. We encounter our co-pilgrims, co-journeyers, that we must also infect with this hope that we are experiencing. So as pilgrims, we are not alone. It's not a solitary journey, but we are called to be a communal journey. A journey of people, journeying towards the hope, towards the Christ, towards the goal that we are called to, that our final destination. Hindi yung movie ngayon na final destination. So we're called to that destination of our pilgrimage, that one day, somehow we will also be together in that place where all our journey, all our weariness ends. In the place where God has prepared for each one of us. And so together, we journey as a church, as a community, united in solidarity, in fraternity, in giving support to one another. We also receive support from other people. And through the challenges, we must anchor our faith to something constant. We must grow to something that is stable, who is Christ, and we are assured of Christ ever reaching out to us. A God who will never give up on us. And that is the surety of our hope. Yung Diyos na hindi tayo pinapabayaan. Yung Diyos na hindi tayo iniiwan. And that in itself is kind of source of our hope. Meron tayong Diyos na nag-journey sa atin no matter what. That He is indeed the Emmanuel journeying with us. This reminds me of the Gospel of Luke, where the disciples went to Emmaus. Those two disciples were downtrodden, were fleeing, in fact, tumatakas sila from persecutions and going away from Jerusalem. But even in that road of despair, of desperation, of darkness, the Gospel of Luke said it was night. It was night and they were reaching out Emmaus. Even that road, Jesus journeys with us. So He's true to Himself, being Emmanuel. So no matter road that we take in life, Christ journeys with us and He is our hope. To end my reflection, I want to show you a clip from a movie from the Dreams. Sorry. Sandman. Meron ba po ito, sister? Thank you, I believe. So, si Sandman is the god of dreams. So, siya yung bibigay ng dreams sa mga tao. But he lost his things, yung kanyang mga ginagamit niya. Yung kanyang helmet, yung kanyang sand, yung kanyang ruby that represents his power. And so, hinahanap niya isang kanyang helmet at sabi niya sa isang prophecy na alin daw sa hell, sa Hades, na doon sa isang demonyo ni Lucifer Morningstar. Para babawi niya yun, he has to defeat that demon. Pero yung demon, pwede siyang kumuha ng isang champion to represent him. So, hindi siya lalaban, kundi yung kanyang champion. And the demon chose their leader, si Lucifer Morningstar, to battle against the Sandman. So, si Morpheus, the god of dream. At dito, ang kanilang battle is to create a symbol na will represent them. So, mamaya makikita natin sasabihin ni Lucifer Morningstar, I am the dire wolf. So, this creates a reality. And then, the other opponent must create another symbol that will topple down the symbolism that others created. So, let's look at the clip.
As the challenge, I set the meter and take
Lucifer
the
Morningstar
first move.
and Morpheus. So, magsisimula ng kanilang battle.
Make your move. I am a dire wolf, prey stalking, lethal prowler. I am a hunter, horse mounted, wolf stabbing. All judgment. The dark at the end of everything. What will you be then, Dreamlord? Boss. Hey. Boss. Still with us, Dream? He is, and it's his move. Your Majesty. There are no more moves. What can survive the anti-life? Hey boss, listen to me. You know what can survive the anti-life? You. Dreams don't fucking die. Not if you believe in them. And I believe Dream of the Endless would never leave his raven here alone in hell with Lucifer.
So yun, natalo si Lucifer in that battle. It was nothing that killed hope. Even the afterlife, everything, the end of the darkness, if we hold on to that hope, we still have life and we can win everything. So for perhaps this later this afternoon for your activity, just look at what symbol represents my prayer, hopes, and relationship with the Lord. Ano kaya yung symbolism that we can use to picture out something that is so abstract, something that is so profound and so deep that we can put it into symbolism. How is our journey? How is our relationship? How is our prayer? And what figure symbolizes, represents our story and our hopes. Ano nga ba yung symbolism that we can use? So that could be our prayer by putting into image, by putting into picture that deepest things, that profound things in our hearts, and put it into a reality, to picture that we can hold and pray over. And also will remind us in times of our troubles, in times of doubt, that this is our hope, this is our prayer, this is our journey, and that we have a God who is with us in our journey. Amen.
Amen.